episode of English Cooking, where I teach you English through cooking. Do you like my apron, guys? I love teaching you English through cooking. The world is falling apart these days. So what we need to do is make marshmallow salad. That's what we're going to do today, my friends. We are going to make marshmallow salad. The world is in chaos. So this is going to be the solution to the world's problems. Marshmallow salad. Now, this is a super easy recipe. You know I love easy recipes, guys. The first and most important ingredient you're gonna need, is mini marshmallows. Look at that, guys. These are marshmallows, but they're not the normal size. Normal size marshmallows are like that big. These are miniature. Look at that. Miniature marshmallows. But most people just call them mini marshmallows. Okay? Mini is the short form of miniature. So mini marshmallows, guys. Now you could either use these ones. These are white. These are normal white ones. Or if you want to be extra special, you can use multicolored mini marshmallows. Look at that, guys. Multicolored. Look at those. I mean, those are different colors, right? Multicolored means more than one color. So we're gonna, should we use I don't know. Let's just use the multicolored ones, guys. Or should we use both? I don't know, guys. You know, this recipe, you really can't go wrong. You can make it however you want. Just add a bit of this and a bit of that. So we got our marshmallows here. Also, you're going to need... now, before I forget, I should mention that there's another name for this salad. Most people, I think, call it marshmallow salad. But it's also called ambrosia salad. Ambrosia salad. I don't know why. So basically what you're going to need is it's fruit and like you need some whipped topping. Okay? So whipped topping. That's what this is called. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I'll take the lid off. That's what whipped topping looks like. Now, that's the generic name. Look at that. This is a no-name brand. Okay? Most people call this Cool Whip. Cool Whip. But actually, Cool Whip is the name of the brand, I think. So that's an example in English of where the brand name actually becomes the generic name. So everybody just calls this stuff Cool Whip. But technically, that's not the generic name. The generic name is whipped topping. Okay? So that's the reason why this no-name company, they can't use the word Cool Whip, because Cool Whip is the brand name of it's the same product. You just can't steal another company's name. So now you need this. This comes frozen. When you buy this in the grocery store, it will be in the frozen section along with the ice cream, I think, and other frozen stuff. Okay. Now, what you want to do is before you make this marshmallow salad, you need to thaw this. So just leave it out on the counter or put it in your fridge. So don't have it in your freezer. So we need to thaw it. So what does thaw mean? Thaw means to unfreeze it. Okay? Not melt. Melt is a similar word, but melt means to make something into like a liquid, right? Like when you melt butter, the butter is turning from a solid form into a liquid form. That's what the word melt means. So in this case, right, this whipped topping is not melted, because look, it's still, it's not a liquid. But it is thawed. You can see that, right? It's thawed. Look, it's not frozen. It's thawed. So you need to thaw it. Now, sometimes people use the word unthaw or dethaw. Do you know what that means? It means the same thing. Okay? Sometimes you hear those three words: thaw, unthaw, and dethaw. They all mean exactly the same thing. English is weird sometimes, but actually the right word to use is thaw. Okay, if you say unthaw or dethaw, those are wrong, but people use those. It's very common to hear that. Just to unthaw something. But it means the same thing. Sometimes people are a bit dumb. Are you dumb? Sometimes I'm a bit dumb, guys. So just thaw your whipped topping. All right. But now, before we put that into our bowl, let's just talk about some other ingredients here. You're going to need a can of crushed pineapple. Okay. Now, this can be called a can or a tin. Your recipe, if you're following a recipe, it might say, put in a tin of crushed pineapple, or a can. So, which word do you like better? I don't have a preference. You can call this a can or a tin. Put in a tin of crushed pineapple. Now, let's just put that in right now. But first, we need to drain it. Okay, so I just you go like that. To drain something means to remove the liquid from that. Okay, so I'm just going to put this in my sink here, and I'm just going to drain it while I'm talking. Oh, actually, there's not much liquid in there. You know what? I think it's fine. I think it's okay. Yeah. So we're just going to put our crushed pineapple into the bowl. Now, sometimes, you might see the picture of those pieces there. The small pieces of pineapple. You could call this pineapple tidbits. Tidbits means just small pieces of something. Okay, tidbits. So we're just going to put in our pineapple tidbits. Look at that, into our bowl. Yeah, just little pieces of pineapple tidbits. We can check that out. Now, you could add whatever kind of fruit you want in here. You could add, canned fruit, or it's nice to put some fresh fruit in there too. So I have a whole orange that I peeled, and now I have slices. Okay, so I have some orange slices here. We're going to just put those orange slices in there. What else was I going to talk about? I made a list of words, guys. Here. So, oh yeah, the reason, okay, no. I'm getting ahead of myself. If you get ahead of yourself, it means you're going to talk about something that you were planning to talk about in the future, and you mention it now. Okay, so I got ahead of myself. So I need to go back and focus on what I'm doing. I can't get ahead of myself here. Okay, what we're going to do, you can see I have some grapes here, right? So we're going to take some grapes and we're going to have them. What does that mean? Listen to what I said. We're going to take some grapes and we're going to have them. What does that word have? Does it mean to have them? Yeah, I'm having some grapes, guys. Look at that, guys. I'm having some grapes. Is that what I said? Well, no, that's not what I said. Would you like a grape? Would you like to have a grape? There you go. No. What I was saying is we're going to have them. Where's my knife? Okay. So we're going to take a paring knife. This kind of a knife, kind of a small knife, is called a paring knife. Now, the reason it's called a paring knife is because it's used to pare things. Pare means to peel the outside of something. So imagine if you want to peel an apple. If you want to use a knife, you're going to take a paring knife and you're going to hold it like this and you're going to, peel the apple and take out the core of the apple. So it's called a paring knife. We're not going to pare that apple. We've already got too much fruit here, guys. I don't know. We don't need... You can add... Excuse me, guys. You can add whatever kind of fruit, however much fruit you want. Just eyeball it. Eyeball it. If you eyeball something, it means you just you estimate something. So we're not going to follow a recipe here, guys. We're just going to eyeball it. Just going to add some of this and some of that. We're eyeballing it, right? We're not going to use real measurements here. We're just going to eyeball it. So we're going to take our grapes and we're going to have them. What does that mean? Okay, it means to cut them in half. So there is half a grape that has, there's a half. Half is a noun. So if it has an F, that's a noun. But the verb form of half is have with an L. But the L is silent. Okay, so you don't say halve, you say have. So this idea of cutting something in half is called having. Having. So look, we're having the grapes. We just halved a grape. We halved it. And now we're going to have another grape. Okay? So we can make a sentence out of this. We could say, I want to have and have the grapes. Okay? So both words are pronounced the same way. I want to, okay, look at this. I want to have and have, meaning eat, the grapes. So, would you like to have a halved grape? Okay, so this is a halved grape. Or you could call it grape halves. These are grape halves, or you can say halved grapes. Okay? So we're going to have a few grapes, and also we're going to have a few grapes. Which kind of have do you prefer? Would you rather have grapes? Or would you rather have grapes? Beautiful, right? So, now guys, while I'm having these grapes, I want to ask you a question. What category would this food fall under? Like, what category is it? Is it a dessert? Or is it a main dish? Is it an appetizer? Or is it a snack? What do you think? Well, in my experience, okay, now you could treat this however you want to treat this. But in my experience, this dish is most commonly seen at a potluck. What is a potluck? A potluck is where everybody brings a dish, right? And then it's, you have a big table, you have all the different dishes on the table, and you have a party or some sort of a function. That's called a potluck. So you might bring a marshmallow salad to a potluck or to any kind of a party or function. If you're having a birthday party, you might make a marshmallow salad for your guests. I don't know. You can do whatever you want with it. Now, is it a dessert? No. In my experience, it's not a dessert. Now, if you want to treat it like a dessert, great, because it's sweet. It has fruit. It has some sweet, basically whipped cream. Although it's this is not called whipped cream. It's called whipped topping or Cool Whip. Okay, whipping cream, like whipped cream, is a little bit different. This is a little bit more like. This comes frozen, but it's basically the same thing. It's basically whipped cream. Okay, so it's sweet. This whole recipe, this whole dish is very sweet. So you could have it as a dessert. But in my experience, it's viewed more as it's just viewed more as something you eat alongside the regular food. So imagine if there's a big table with all the potluck items on the table. Okay, so you're gonna go down the line, and you're gonna be taking stuff onto your plate. So if you want to eat, first you're gonna eat your main. You want to put things on your plate that is actually food, right? So you might take I don't know, maybe some lasagna. If someone has brought lasagna, so you might have some lasagna. You might have some, some vegetables or something. You might have some salad, like normal vegetable salad, and you might have some of this. Okay, maybe some mashed potatoes or maybe a hamburger or something, and the marshmallow salad. So people eat this alongside their main meal. Okay, so this is kind of a culture. This is a Canadian culture lesson as well. So don't think of this as a dessert, because probably after people eat their main meal, they're going to go back to the table, and then there might be some pie or some cake or some brownies or that kind of thing. So those foods are considered dessert foods. This is not really a dessert food. But if you want to treat it like a dessert food, be my guest. Be my guest means do it. All right? It means I am allowing you to do it, right? If you want to treat this as a dessert, be my guest. Okay, so that phrase doesn't mean literally I'm saying come to my house and be my guest. It doesn't mean that. It just means you can do it. Be my guest. All right? So, there it is. That's in my experience. I've had marshmallow salad at potlucks probably hundreds of times in my life. Okay? So, guys, we're just going to have a few more grapes. And then we are going to put in our whipped, what's it called? Whipped topping. We're going to put in our no-name whipped topping. So, guys, let's just put in the whole tub. You can call this thing a tub or a container. Okay, so if it's ice cream or butter or anything that comes in like this type of a style container, or pretty much any kind of container, but yeah, usually if it's like butter or margarine or this kind of whipped topping, You could call this a tub, okay? Or you could call it a container. So we're going to put in the whole tub of whipped topping. So guys, you can make this however you want. But we're just going to use the whole tub. This is great. Oh man, I should put this more in the middle so you can see what I'm doing here. All right. So, and we're going to put in a little bit of yogurt. We're going to put in a bit of yogurt. All right, so that's about good enough. Okay, now why are we going to put in a little bit of yogurt? The reason we're going to put in a bit of yogurt is to take the edge off the sweetness. What does it mean to take the edge off of something? It means to reduce the intensity of something. Okay, so this is very sweet, right? It's full of fruit and whipped topping, which is sugar and cream, basically. So this is very sweet, but we don't want it to be super sweet. So we're going to add some yogurt, which is a bit sour, because we want to take the edge off the sweetness. Does that make sense? So you can use that phrase to take the edge off something to talk about the flavor of like cooking or baking, if you want to reduce the intensity of something. Also, we commonly use that phrase to talk about pain. Okay? Imagine if you have a headache, and you might take some medicine, and the medicine might not solve the problem completely. It might not take away your headache completely, but it might take the edge off. Okay, have you ever had a really bad headache and it's just throbbing, like a throbbing kind of headache? Throb means like this, where it kind of comes, the intensity gets higher and then it kind of goes away. That's called that's called throbbing pain. Throbbing. So if you have a throbbing headache, you might take some medicine to take the edge off. Okay, so I could ask you, did the medicine work? Did it help you? And you could say, no, I still have a headache, but it took the edge off. Okay, so that means the medicine worked a bit, and it reduced the intensity of the pain. So that's what it means to take the edge off. So we're going to add some yogurt here. We're just going to dump some in, guys. Just to take the edge off the sweetness. Now what we're going to do is we are going to fold in we're going to kind of fold it together. What does fold mean? Well, the common meaning of fold is like to fold your clothes. I hate folding clothes, guys. Or like if you want to fold a towel, right? You take a towel and you go like this and you fold it. There, if I folded the towel. Well, in cooking or baking, what that means is to kind of gently mix something into something else. So we're going to kind of fold in our whipped topping and yogurt. We're going to fold it together. So we're just going to kind of gently mix it together, right? Oh man, guys, I'm so excited about this. Are you excited about this? Have you ever had marshmallow salad? Now, you can add the marshmallows whenever you want. Let's just add them right now, guys. Let's add our marshmallows in while we're folding in all the stuff here. Now, how many marshmallows should you put in here? It's up to you. You can just wing it. I'm just going to wing it. Wing it means just going to do it without any preparation, any forethought. Okay? Forethought means something you've thought about before. Well, I have put no forethought into this recipe. I'm just adding a bit of this and a bit of that. You know, it's just kind of a ballpark, kind of a, we're just kind of guesstimating. Guesstimate means to estimate. It's kind of a funny, kind of a slang way to say estimate. We're guesstimating what we're going to do here. I'm just going to put a bit like a ballpark amount. It means just, I don't know, an estimate. A ballpark amount. So let's just start dumping some in, guys. I don't know. And just winging it. Do you like winging it? We're just going to fold this. We're going to fold in our marshmallows here. All right, guys, let me check my list here. What did we talked about thaw, fold in. We talked about halves. You know, very, very often when you buy canned fruit, like peaches or pears, it will say, you know, peach halves. You know, you buy a normal, like a tin of peaches. Very often it'll come as a whole half. Or you could buy peach slices, you know, where it's going to be individual slices. You know, whatever you prefer, you can buy that type of thing. So, yeah, halves. Remember, the L is silent. Have. Halves. But it's also a verb, meaning to cut something in half. If you have something. So we have our halved grapes in here. Man, that's looking good. Oh, guys. That is looking delicious. Okay, we talked about drained. We talked about paring knife. Ambrosia salad. Remember, this can also be called ambrosia salad. Now, guys, I probably put in a little bit too much. I probably put in a bit too much of the whipped topping. But this is the kind of recipe where you can't go wrong. Just do whatever you want to do. Let's add a few more grapes. Let's add some whole grapes. Okay. Would you rather have whole grapes or halved grapes? Would you rather have halved grapes or whole grapes? I would rather have halved grapes. But to save time, we're just gonna add some more whole grapes. Oh, this grape is trying to escape on me, guys. All right, guys. So I just thought this would be a great recipe to make for the end of the world. What would you like to be eating at the end of the world, guys? You know, the world is going downhill fast. So it's time to bust out the marshmallow salad. That's what I thought about today, guys. You know, things are getting serious in the world. So it's time to bust out. What does that mean? Bust out something? It's a slang way of saying to bring out something. You know? Time to bust out the marshmallow salad. Bust out just means to do something. To do. You know, if like, you know, sometimes you might hear people say, I'm going to bust a move on the dance floor. You know, if you're at a party or somewhere, if you bust a move on the dance floor, it means you do some dancing. Right? So today we busted out the marshmallow salad here. Oh, man, guys. Oh, now, the last step in this is we need to chill it for a few hours in the fridge. All right, so to chill has two meanings. The first meaning is to relax. All right, so if someone asks you, what are you doing? You could say, nothing, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. That means you are just relaxing. Okay, but chill also means to calm down or relax. So if your friend is really stressed out, you could say, dude, chill. Just chill. It means calm down, relax, okay? But in cooking or baking, the word chill means to make cold. It means to put it in the fridge and let it kind of get cold. So this marshmallow salad, it needs to be served cold. That's when it's best. So we need to chill this in the fridge for a few hours. Now there's a funny joke or something I've seen online, a meme, that I'll post it here, right? It said when the recipe, says that it says chill in the fridge for an hour, right? It's funny because it has two meanings. So in this joke, the guy thought he was supposed to relax in the fridge for an hour. But that's not what the recipe meant. It meant put the food in the fridge for an hour to let it chill, get cold, right? So guys, I don't know, it's funny. So many words in English have more than one meaning. So that's why a lot of jokes are funny, because it's, words have more than one meaning. So guys, we're just gonna, now this utensil is called, a lot of people call it a spatula, a rubber spatula. All right, what is the category? Is a utensil, just like a fork, a spoon, a knife. Those are utensils. So this is a kind of utensil, but the name of this specific utensil is a spatula, or people call it a scraper or spatula. Okay, so there we go, guys. We're just going to cover this up, and where is my? Can't remember where my cling wrap, my saran wrap. Again, that type of thing, that clear plastic wrap, it has some different names. Some people call it saran wrap. I think that's the name of the brand, Saran. Some people call it cling wrap. I think that might also be the name of a brand. Or plastic wrap, maybe? I don't know. Guys, but you know what I'm talking about. We're just going to cover up this salad. We're going to pop it in the fridge. Pop is a slang way to say put it in the fridge. We're going to pop it in the fridge for a couple hours. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to do our taste test. All right? So guys, stick around for that. And we'll go from there. All right, guys. Look at that. Is that not a work of art? Do you understand that construction? I just said, is that not a work of art? I'm saying this is a work of art. So another way to say that, to add emphasis, I can ask it in like a question. Is that not a work of art? The word not here actually adds emphasis to the fact that it is a work of art. Look at that. Let's take off our cling wrap. Well, look at this. What is this stuff called? So look at this. This is called food film. This brand calls it food film. But other brands call it saran wrap or cling wrap. So we're going to take off our food film and look at that. It has firmed up. Look. It's way more firm than it was before, right? So we can say it has firmed up. If something becomes more firm, you can use the phrasal verb firm up. It has firmed up. Oh man, just take a look at that, guys. Is that not? Yeah, it just looks so good. Let's just do a taste test. Let's do a taste test, guys. I'm going to give you the first bite, and you can see you can kind of see the consistency of it, right? It's pretty thick, like you know. Look at that, right? You can kind of get a feel for how thick it is. So you know what? I'm just gonna give you the first bite. Let's get a bunch of marshmallows in here, and the first bite. There it is, guys. The first bite goes to you, my wonderful friend. There it is. Enjoy, guys. Was it good? Do you like it? Well, now it's my turn to do a taste test, guys. Here we go. That's amazing. I love the texture. It's kind of soft. Like the marshmallows give it kind of a velvety type of texture. Okay, if a texture is velvety or velvet-like, it's kind of really soft and smooth. But then our fresh fruit, like our grapes and orange slices, you know, they give it a bit of crunch. So it's this perfect combination of like velvety, smooth, and crunchy. It's such a weird. I don't think there's nothing like this. I mean, there's no kind of food I think that I've had that has this type of texture. So it's amazing. I love this. This is a very unique kind of food. And I hope you learned some new English words in this video, guys. Remember the word half. Okay, the word half is a noun. Now the plural form of half is halves. Let's see if I can find any grape halves. Oh, there's a half. There's a half, because it's one. But if I find more than one, then I can say I found some. Where did it go? I just had it here. It disappeared. Oh, there it is. All right, if you find more than one, you can say I found some halves. But then remember, the verb is have. Okay, to have. We halved our grapes. And now I'm finding some halves. Oh, so would you like a have? Would you like a half, guys? There is a... I'll give you a half. Right there. There it is. You can see there's the half. The half. Would you like one half or two halves? So, guys, yeah, just remember that. What else? Leave your comments down below, guys. I love reading your comments. And if you have any questions about English or about anything else, let me know. Guys, I love you so much. Hope you're doing great today. I wish I could share this salad with you. I wish you were here in person, you know. This is delicious. Let me know, have you ever had this before? This is quite a popular dish, I would say, in Canada. But probably it was more popular. It's actually a pretty popular dish among like my grandparents' generation, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure if young people make this or eat this, but yeah, it used to be, and maybe it still is. It's probably it's a pretty popular food, like a picnic kind of a food, or like I said, a potluck food, or a party kind of a food. But you know, if you want to eat this as a snack, go for it. If you want to eat it as a dessert, go for it. If you want to eat it as breakfast, be my guest. Be my guest. Remember what that means? It doesn't mean I'm inviting you to be my guest, although I am. You can be my guest. But if you say be my guest, it means you can do it if you want. So if you want to eat this as breakfast, be my guest. Okay, so I could make a sentence. I could say, be my guest to be my guest. All right? If you want to be my guest, then be my guest. All right, so that phrase has two meanings. What else can I say, guys? This is so delicious. Is it healthy? No, let me know your thoughts. Is this healthy? Well, it's a salad, right? And salad is healthy. So it must be healthy. If it's called a salad, then you can gorge yourself. Gorge yourself means you can eat a lot. Okay, so I'm going to gorge myself on salad. I like that it's called salad because that means it's healthy. See, if it were called like pudding or if it were called something else, well, that would be unhealthy. But because it's called a salad, that makes it very healthy. So I am going to get healthy today, my friends, and I hope you are healthy. I hope you stay healthy. I hope you get even more healthy. So guys, I wish you all the best. Love you so much. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of English Cooking. And as always, I'll see you over in the next episode of English Cooking. Take care.